Hi everyone, Ben Choi or Space Meat here with build log number 2 in my Athlon build. So this week I concentrated mostly on building my arms, the shoulders and forearms, and I definitely ran into quite a few setbacks, and I didn't actually make that much progress this time around. But as I always say, learn from my mistakes so you don't repeat them, and I think I have a lot of things to teach you. So I guess let's just get into it right now. So firstly, I did forearms. This is the contoured forearm from Halo 4. Interesting tidbit about contoured forearms, especially compared to other forearms, is that they are made of two distinct pieces that do not actually connect together. So instead of, let's say, this reach forearm here, which is just one distinct piece, the contoured forearm is composed of two pieces. So that took me a while to figure out the strapping to keep it flexible so I could, stick it on my arm and then wrap it. After that, I kind of, as you can see right here, I ended up using, what are these things called? Nylon straps and purse buckles. Now these are meant to stay in there pretty much all the time, but I want to make them removable for easy maintenance and actually packing, because if you have this big round shape, it's a little hard to pack. And I figured because I can take it apart, there we go, see? Two distinct pieces, I can just pack it like that and be tossed away, easier to find ways to pack. So I'm very aware of trying to bring this stuff on a plane to, let's say, pack, which I actually will be going to pack, so always have to think about practicality or just throwing it in a car. So that's that. I definitely had a bit of an issue when it came to scaling, because this is my fault, so don't make this mistake. When I was originally putting it together, I'm snapping it onto my bare arm, and I'm like, hey, look at this. It snaps onto my arm, but when I try to wrap it on my arm, I'm like, apparently the best way to keep it closed is to wrap it all the way around, which is not exactly how it is in the game. The game actually sets them apart about here. And I was like, well, so I decided to put a snap here, and you can actually see the damage close up right there, that I chose to tore this out because I eventually realized, wait a second, I always have a padded elbow thingy to, give a little more bulk to my elbow and make it look more like the undersuit. So you can see this is the piece from my reach one. I'm also going to be adding this piece here. But anyhow, so this is added bulk and thickness, so when I started putting my arm into this thing, you're like, well, look at this extra inch or so, and I can't close this anymore. In fact, it wants to stay in the normal position how it actually should be. So basically I had to tear this thing out. I'm actually going to replace this entire piece. I reprinted a piece from the laser cutter, so I'm going to be cutting this out and rebuilding it, basically, because I don't want to rebuild the whole piece. But that's another setback, so always be sure when you're measuring it to take into account all the stuff you're wearing underneath the armor. You're not going to be, well, naked underneath it. Well, some people made shoes. That's an entirely different conversation. But in any case, most of you will not be wearing bare flesh underneath this armor. So remember, always take into account the undersuit. I didn't. I screwed up. My mistake. Your lesson. Let me see here. On to the next screw up. I started making my shoulder plate. It's a War Master shoulder plate. And I started building it, and I was just like, this seems kind of tiny. So I kind of had to boot up Halo 4, and I'm looking at the screenshots, I'm like, look at how much the arm it takes up versus this on my arm. And, coupled with, well, I guess, switch to this arm. Coupled with this thing, I mean, look, oops. Coupled with this, look at the massive amount of space between here and here that's just pure undersuit. I'm like, that is definitely not right. And then I realized my big mistake. I was treating this like a reach shoulder plate, because if you take a look at this reach shoulder plate I have here, look, the contour is about the same height as the top of my reach shoulder plate, because this is an add-on to the base plate that sits underneath here. So when I have this thing on, it's pretty much, a good length of my arm. This, not so much. So I basically had to scrap this immediately, which sucks because I cut out both of these already, and now they're useless to me because it's child size. And I've built a newer, bigger one, so you'll see that in the next log. I'll have them side by side. Let me just put this down here. So bigger one coming, and always double check your dimensions, or at least see how it is between Halo 4 or /5 and Reach, because I keep building under Reach assumptions, and I was like, things are different this time around. So that pretty much wrapped up my thing. I guess I didn't make too much progress this week also because I was actually teaching a class on Halo armor building at the Makerspace, so that pretty much took up my entire Saturday. It was actually pretty fun, so first class ever, but I guess that's completely tangential to all of this, but that's where my time went. While I was at it, I finally cut out the Athlon chest plate. Let me see here. If I can find it. There it is. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. That uh-oh was not... Okay. Ignore all of that uh-ohs that you heard from me. So basically, I wasn't actually sure of the size of the Athlon chest plate, so while I was in the Maker Lab, I just basically did a rough mock-up of like the front of the chest plate with blue tape, so I'm like... Yeah, this feels about right? I would guess so. So, I think I have it right. I'm definitely going to be building this in the next log, which I guess is 3, so you'll at least see this come to fruition after I get the shoulder plates, finally done. Yep. And at the very least, obviously, since I've only completed one piece, you get one time lapse, which is this. Oops. So, I guess without further ado, we're just going to go straight to the time lapse. Okay, so I guess that was pretty much it for the time lapse, and at this point, I got work to do. Memorial Day's coming up, hooray! But I'm actually not getting too much time on that. I have family and friend things to do. I'm actually probably not going to get much armor work done during the weekends. It's all going to be weeknight stuff. That's just what happens when you have a full-time life. Doesn't leave much room for armor building or games. But in any case, I'm going to get started on the new shoulder plates, which hopefully will be much better. You'll see in the next log, and obviously the Athlon chest plate. I don't fully expect to have the Athlon chest plate done next time, like the whole thing, but at least maybe the front or parts of it. Hey, maybe if I'm lucky I'll get the whole thing, but I'll definitely make some progress, which you will see in the next one. Let's see what else. Oh, I'm actually still searching for files for a Halo 4 spine plate. You know, I actually can't find one, or at least a good one. So if anyone sees one or knows one, please send me a link to it, because I am in need of a spine plate and I don't have one. So there you go. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.